All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle a question that's absolutely central to three of the world's biggest religions. It's a question that has shaped empires and identities for thousands of years.
So who are the children of Abraham? Now you might think, oh, that's easy. It's just a family tree, right? But, well, it's so much more than that. The answer is actually way more complex and, honestly, more fascinating than you'd expect. It unfolds into this incredible story that still impacts billions of us today.
To really get our heads around one of the most powerful ways to answer this, I want you to picture this shape, a funnel. See how it starts out super wide, then gets really narrow, down to a single point, and then, boom, it explodes outward again, even bigger than before. This shape, this is going to be our guide for this whole explainer.
Okay, so let's start at the very top, that wide opening of the funnel. If you take the question in the most literal sense, the children of Abraham are, well, all of his biological kids and their descendants. This is where both Jewish and Arab peoples trace their roots back to him, through his sons Isaac and Ishmael. But right away, the story starts to zero in on something much more specific.
Almost immediately, a crucial distinction is made. It's like not all of Abraham's kids are on the same track. There's this thing called the promise line, which is the specific family line that's going to carry this special covenant from God. The promise of land, a huge family, and a special blessing. And here's the twist. That promise line doesn't go through the firstborn, Ishmael. It goes through Isaac. So see, the funnel is already getting tighter.
And it doesn't stop there. The focus gets even sharper. Just because you're in Isaac's family line, it doesn't mean you're automatically in. The story zooms in again. So Isaac has two sons. Twin boys, actually, Esau and Jacob. And that promised line, that chosen line, well, it takes another turn. It doesn't follow the older brother Esau. Nope, it follows Jacob. And Jacob's name is later changed to Israel, and his descendants, they become the 12 tribes of Israel. So you can really see that funnel tightening now, right? We've gone from all of Abraham's descendants down to Isaac's line, and now, even more specifically, to Jacob's line.
Okay, but here's where the whole idea takes a really massive turn, especially when we look at it from a New Testament point of view. The funnel is about to narrow one more time, but this time, it's not about your bloodline anymore. It's about something inside of you. It's about faith.
This is a real game changer. The argument being made is that just being born into the right family, well, it's not the whole story. To be a true child of Abraham, you have to have the same kind of faith that he had. And what that does is it creates this split right inside the nation of Israel. You have people who are descendants by blood, and then you have people who are descendants by belief. It's a matter of the heart.
So let's recap. We've gone from all physical descendants to Isaac, to Jacob, and then even further to the faithful ones within Jacob's family. And now we've arrived at the very tip of the funnel, the single sharpest point that this whole long story has been aiming for.
And that single point, that ultimate seed of Abraham, according to Christian theology, is Jesus Christ. The idea is that this entire centuries-long process of narrowing the focus was all designed to lead to this one specific person.
The Apostle Paul really spells this out. He looks back at that original promise to Abraham and makes this incredible point about grammar. He says, look, the promise wasn't made to Abraham's seeds, plural, as in lots of people. It was made to his seed, singular, as in one person. For Paul, it was crystal clear that this was always pointing to one individual. We are now at the absolute tightest point of our funnel.
So, we hit that single point. But the story doesn't just stop there, not even close. In fact, this is where our funnel completely flips on its head. From this one person, the whole idea of who belongs in Abraham's family just explodes outward. And the crazy part? This wasn't a last-minute change of plans. This was the idea from day one.
And here's the proof, right here. This is not a plan B. This isn't some backup plan God came up with later. This quote is from the very first promise ever given to Abraham. The plan was always for this blessing to go global, to reach beyond just one family or one nation, to, and I quote, all the families of the earth.
So what does this mean for who the children of Abraham are now? Well, it means the family just got a whole lot bigger. It includes anyone, whether they're Jewish or a Gentile, which just means from any other nation on earth, who connects to that one ultimate seed, Jesus, through faith. The family is now defined by what you believe, not by your DNA.
And you know what? This idea of welcoming outsiders, it's not some radical new thing. It was there all along, woven into the fabric of the Old Testament. I mean, think about Rahab, she was a Canaanite, or Ruth, a Moabite. These women weren't born Israelites, but they were welcomed in, fully part of the story. They're even in the family tree of King David and Jesus. So the invitation has always been open.
So what actually changed wasn't the goal of including everyone. It was the method. It's like this. In the Old Testament, the model was centripetal. Think of it like a magnet, pulling people in. If you wanted to join, you had to come to Israel. But in the New Testament, it flips. It becomes centrifugal. Think of it like a speaker pushing sound out. The message goes out from the center to reach everybody, everywhere.
So here's the big takeaway from looking at it this way. This whole story isn't about God fixing a broken plan. It's one single continuous plan that's been unfolding all along. It moves in stages, right? From a physical family to that one single person, and then out to this huge global spiritual family. It was always heading in this direction.
And all of this leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. What does it actually mean for a group of people to be defined not by their bloodline, but by what they believe? What does that do to our ideas about identity, about community, about who's in and who's out? It's a huge concept, and it changes everything. Thanks for digging into it with me.